Hey Annie, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't I see you at the train station today around lunchtime?
Huh? What's that? What? Are you stalking me now? Were you hiding in a trash bin or something?
As usual, you really seem to have a lot of time on your hands. Your brother, Oswald, is working hard at the construction company he inherited, but it seems like he's the only hard worker in the family.
You really don't seem to have anything to do you? What exactly is it that you do all day anyway?
Hey, all I did was ask if you were at the train station. That's all. It was purely an innocent question. I didn't think that one simple question would send the conversation off in this direction.
Yeah. You've got it really good, don't you? Your dad built that company out from nothing, and now you're rich because of that. You can just spend that money and don't worry about anything. Must be nice. Oswald's taking care of business on that end, and you're sitting pretty in your nice house with your nice things.
Well, that was a family decision after all. The family decided that Oswald would run the company. I've never just been spending money and messing around, so I have no idea where you got that notion from. I work and I earn my own money and stand on my own 2 feet like an adult. That's how we do it in our family. I don't have anything to be ashamed about. I can look at my parents in the eye and be proud of how I'm living. I know it and they know it too.
But you do owe your dad some money, isn't that right? I know all about that. I heard you borrowed $50,000 from him. Interest-free too, I bet.
Yeah, that was from when I changed jobs and I needed it. It was a one-time thing and there was a bit more to it than you know, I'm sure. And I'm paying him back exactly on the schedule that he and I agreed to when I borrowed it. I'm keeping my promise to my dad. Again, that's how we do it in our family.
Oh, that's interesting because it's not what I see when I look at you and watch your actions. Your attitude is that the family's money is your money because you're the oldest daughter and you're going to keep spending it on your whims and screwing around.
You know, Annie, I've been thinking about how this for a while, but you don't like me much, do you? I mean, when we have family get-togethers or there are other people around, you act all buddy-buddy with me like we're friends. But then when we're chatting like this, you get really rough with me and just criticize me non-stop. I think you hate me, actually.
Hey, does anyone get along with their sister-in-law? Just because I'm married, Oswald, doesn't mean I want to be your sister. I think it's time I make that perfectly clear. But hey, Oswald inherited the company and this is how it is for the time being. And we all live nearby each other and see each other all the time. Why rock the boat, you know? So I'm playing the part of the friendly sister-in-law because that's what I need to do.
Wow, if that's true, you really are quite the actress. I'm impressed, I must say.
Yes, I am. Because the truth is that I actually don't even want to be in touch with you at all, let alone be texting back and forth with you like this. I mean, to be totally honest, I'd love it if you just didn't even come around anymore when the family gets together. Hey, here's an idea. Why don't you change jobs again and move far away from here? You could do that, I bet. I mean, that is why you come around so often, right? Because you live so close.
Often? Well, the only time I come and stay there is during the holidays. Other than that, I come by for mom and dad's birthdays and such, but I don't even stay over then. So no, I wouldn't say that I come around often. Not really. I think you're exaggerating again.
Yeah. Well, once a year is more than enough. How about you try to keep it to that from now on?
And what about you? From what I hear, you're visiting your own parents every single week? Is that normal where you come from?
Yeah, I married Oswald, so don't even think about comparing yourself to me. Miss Perpetually Single.
There's no comparison here.
You need to find yourself a husband and go somewhere with him. Somewhere far away from us. I mean, please do something, anything. Get a life.
You know, you've been talking to me like this ever since you married Oswald a year ago, Annie. I'm completely used to it by now, so if you want to provoke me, you should change it up a bit. But let's get back to my original question. It was a simple one. Were you or were you not at the train station earlier today?
Maybe. So, what if I was?
I ask because I'm wondering who that guy you were walking with is.
Guy? What guy?
The one that you were with? That guy? He was tall and dressed nicely. He was wearing a suit, if I recall correctly. He looked like a pretty stylish dude.
Oh, him. He's just a friend of mine.
A friend, huh?
Oh, now you're sticking your nose into my social life? Do you have some problems with my circle of friends? You really are tiresome, you know that? You just don't know when to say when. Just because I got married doesn't mean I can cut all my male friends out of my life. Oswald didn't ask me to do that, and I have every right to see whom I please, when I please.
Oh, I see. I just asked because you two seemed pretty close. Yeah, the feeling I got was that you and that guy are pretty close, so I thought maybe he was just a relative of yours that I haven't met yet. That's what I was thinking anyways.
He's both, actually. He's a relative and a friend.
Huh? What does that mean?
It means that his family, but we're close in age, so we've always been friends too. Is there anything else you want to interrogate me about? If not, I have things to do. I need to go pick out a wedding chapel.
A wedding chapel? Oh, that's interesting. Why?
Because when Oswald and I got married last year, we were too busy to have a proper ceremony. Our 1-year anniversary is coming up, and we decided to finally have a ceremony to celebrate that.
Oh, really? Again? That's very interesting.
Yeah. A friend of mine had her wedding at this one place, and I've been jealous about it ever since then. I think I want to have ours at the same place. It's a really good one, and it's very well managed, I'm told.
Well, that's great. Let me know the details when you've decided on everything. I work on the weekend a lot, so I'll probably need to take a day off to attend, but I'll make sure I'm there.
Hey, Dory, do you have a minute? Are you with a client right now?
Hi, yes, I have time now. I just finished up with a client and I'm just on my way back to the office.
It's raining really hard out now, so take care, okay?
I will, Jane, thanks. So what's up? You sound stressed out.
I want to ask you about something a little personal. Is it true what I heard about you not being able to go to Brant and Annie's wedding?
Huh? Not at all. Where did you hear that?
I just saw a guest list earlier today, and it didn't seem complete. Brant told me that it's been finalized, though, but I don't see your name anywhere on it.
You say my name isn't on it? Not anywhere? Well, I certainly haven't told them that I'm not going.
Yes, that's what I thought. I mean, who doesn't go to their brother's wedding?
I think Annie's got something to do with this.
Exactly. I was thinking the same thing. Brant couldn't come over today because he asked to work, apparently. So Annie came over by herself. She's not really easy to deal with. Anyway, while she was here, she told me you can't make it to the wedding because of work. So we don't need to save a seat for you.
Just as I suspected. She's pretty predictable. She really doesn't like me for whatever reason. I'm not sure why, but it doesn't really matter. So she doesn't want me at the wedding, and this is how she's decided to make sure I'm not there. I mean, I never even heard what the wedding date was. Can you believe that?
Maybe this is her plan. She's going to let it go like this, and then, when the wedding day comes, you'll show up, and there'll be no seat for you. Talk about passive-aggressive. Well, that's pretty low, I got to say.
Yeah, I've heard that this kind of stuff happens sometimes with seating and family squabbles. Fortunately, I've never had to deal with this sort of situation myself.
But a friend of mine who's also a planner told me that she's put together a last-minute seating on the day of the wedding before.
I have to apologize, Jane. I don't want to make more work for you. I'm sorry you ended up in charge of such a problematic wedding. Apologies.
Oh, no worries. It's my job, so I'm fine. It's all in a day's work. I do feel bad for you, though. I mean, you're family, and you have to deal with this? That's beyond problematic.
Yeah, it's difficult, but I'm being proactive about it.
So, what should I do? Just tell me how you'd like me to proceed. Shall I make sure there's a seat for you, even though Annie's playing this game?
Well, she definitely knows the wedding planner's my friend. And she clearly knows what she wants and she's determined to get it. So, for the time being, just do what she says. I don't want any blowback for you. And I also have my own idea in mind for how to handle this.
Really? You're okay with that? I mean, there's going to be no seat for you.
Yeah, I'll just have to cross that bridge when it comes to it. Like I said, I have an idea.
I really don't understand why you're okay with this, but if I know you, you're thinking ahead. And I have this feeling that Annie has a surprise coming to her soon. So I'll just play dumb, do my job as the wedding planner, and follow their wishes.
That's perfect. Thanks.
No worries. By the way, the current price tag for this wedding is pretty crazy. Your brother is paying for all of it, right? All by himself? I know Oswald runs the family business, and they seem to be doing okay, but can he handle this price? It's gotten really steep.
Oh, really? What's the current budget ballooned up to?
Well, counting today's auditions by Annie, we're up to around $200,000.
$200,000?
Yeah, that's not a number I see often, so I was a bit taken back.
What are they even thinking? This number is way more than they were planning before. Tell me, did Oswald sign off on all that?
According to Annie, he says to spare no expense and that he's fine with whatever she decides. At least, that's what she told me.
I see. Okay. Thanks for the information and updates. I'll handle things on this side, so all you need to do is focus on getting your job done, okay?
Got it. Hey, want to grab a drink after work today?
Only if you promise to listen to all my complaints.
Gladly. They'll go down smooth with a few glasses of wine.
Alrighty then. It's a date.
And I'll bring the itemized wedding estimate with me, so you can look it over.
I need a favor from you.
Oh, hi Annie. A favor? Okay, what is it?
The favor is actually about how things are going to be from now on. Oswald and I are having our wedding ceremony today. As you know, we're already legally married, of course. But starting today, I will be putting a new rule into practice.
A new rule? I have no idea what kind of rule it is that you're talking about, but I'm guessing that obeying that rule is what you're going to ask me a favor about. Am I right?
That's right. From now on, I don't want any involvement between you and us.
Because I'm so extremely involved with you two all the time, right?
Anyway, I prefer that you cut all contact with us and to delete our contact info from your phone, etc. Also, please don't come home anymore. Ever.
Excuse me? I can't come home anymore. That's my family's home, you know.
Not anymore. It's not. It's my home now. It's my home and it's Oswald's home. It's not yours anymore, period. It's pretty simple. You don't have a home here to come back to, so don't come back.
Yeah, so Annie, that's not ever happening. I'm not abandoning my family just because you don't like me.
I mean, aren't you even a little ashamed of yourself acting like this?
Wow. First of all, I'm not a stranger and neither are any of you. Second, someday I might bring home a fiancé myself. You never know.
Anyway, the fact of the matter is that we want nothing to do with you anymore. So I'll thank you for not trying to contact us in the future in any way, shape, or form. That is the rule that goes into effect today, and I expect you to obey it. Which reminds me, You have no seat at either the reception or their ceremony today. Oh, did I not mention that to you? So sorry. But you and us are through as of today, anyway. So,
Okay then, I'll cancel the wedding.
excuse me? You're not the one who cancels the wedding. Just because you're not coming doesn't mean the wedding is off.
Oh, I'm well aware of that. I have no seat at the wedding.
What do you mean? You're well aware?
Let me ask you. Do you remember what you had to do when you signed the contract and made the reservation for the wedding?
My friend had her wedding there and I thought it was a nice place, so we went and checked it out. Then Oswald told me he knows someone who's connected with that place and that he'd take care of the reservation. So I left all of that to him. What of it?
I'm the connected person he was talking about.
And why are you suddenly involved in all this?
Because I'm the connection to that place. And your wedding planner is a good friend of mine.
Who? That boring woman I met before?
Yeah, her name is Jane, and she's my friend. She's also my business partner. You see, we run a business together.
Oh, is that so? What kind of business are you running with her?
I'm glad you asked. The business we run together is the wedding chapel where you're planning to get married. She was running her own planning business for quite a while, and I used to manage a wedding chapel. So we decided to put our respective talents and experiences together, and now we run our own company.
Wait a minute. So, when you said before that you changed jobs...
Yeah, what I should have said was that I started my own company. I'd always wanted to run a wedding chapel, so I borrowed the money from my dad to get it started. I worked hard and the business took off pretty well, so I've already paid back 90% of what I borrowed from him.
So, wait, this means you're a company president?
Yep, that's pretty much the size of it. And that's why I'm fully aware of what's going on with your wedding and its planning, including the fact that you intentionally didn't assign me a seat. And also including the fact that the price tag for this wedding has now reached an astronomical $200,000. And that price is entirely due to your own prolific spending and selfishness.
Oh, give me a break. $200,000 is nothing, especially when the bride is as special as I am. I mean, I'm worth it, definitely. What's wrong with planning the wedding the way I want it? Anyway, I've been waiting a year for this. I deserve at least this.
Really? Oswald doesn't seem to agree.
Huh? Excuse me? He doesn't approve?
Come on, Annie. You know as well as I do that he only saw the original quote and he hasn't seen any of the revisions since you started adding things to it. He tells me that you haven't allowed him to get involved at all. He also tells me, now that he sees who you really are, he wants to cancel the wedding and divorce you.
What? Divorce? Why is that suddenly a topic of conversation?
Why? Well, let's see. For starters, you spent $200,000 that wasn't yours to spend, and then you try to shut his sister out of the wedding without consulting him about it at all. I'd say that finding all that out on one's wedding day would certainly damage the bond of trust that's so essential in a marriage, wouldn't it?
So he wants a divorce?
I also filled him in on your behavior toward me and showed him the chats I've had with you. He's shocked and delusioned, to say the least.
You showed him our chats?
What can I say? If you didn't want this to happen, you should have treated me better, both online and in person.
So what? And why should I have to pretend to like you anyway?
Oh my. And this from a girl who's pretending in front of her husband 24/7, 365?
Enough already. Tell me what you're going to do about my wedding. Is he serious about wanting a divorce and canceling the wedding? Everything I've done is all going to be for nothing.
Are you still under the impression that I'm joking about any of this? Oswald is dead serious, and he already signed the paperwork to cancel the wedding, and I already processed it for him as a manager of the chapel.
Wait a minute. Canceling the wedding on the same day? What are my friends and family going to think?
Anyway, we need to talk about money.
Money? What do we need to talk about for that? It's good timing that your parents are here now, actually, because there is the matter of the cancellation fee that needs to be discussed. Your contract with us clearly states that the fee for the same-day cancellation is 100% of the wedding price. As I'm sure you know, this wedding involves staff, food, and other various and sundry expenses. All of these things have been prepared and we're ready for the wedding, and altogether, they come to approximately $200,000. Therefore, we now need to discuss the payment of this cancellation fee. You can't possibly be expecting me to pay for all that.
As the manager of this establishment, my only duty and responsibility is to talk with you about this fee. As far as how and by whom it is paid, that is a matter for you to discuss with Oswald, probably as part of your divorce negotiations.
Wait a minute. Dory, you're the manager, right? So you should be able to give me a little bit of break, right? I mean, this wedding is a family affair for you. You should be able to give some kind of family discount, right? Dory! Why am I being forced to pay the entire cancellation fee and this divorce settlement? And I've been kicked out of the house on top of that. This is all your fault, Dory. It's all your fault. Why did you have to go and show him our chats?
Annie, you're in the situation that you're in due to your own actions. I had nothing to do with any of it.
My mom and dad are saying they won't help me at all. How am I supposed to pay for all this? I don't have that kind of money.
Don't worry. All you have to do is work, then you'll have the money. See how easy that is?
How on earth did I get here?
The answer to that is simple. You didn't give me a seat at my own brother's wedding.
And why is that such a big deal? All that wedding planner friend of yours had to do was quietly give you a seat. Then none of this would have happened.
Annie, you would have ended up divorced sooner or later. I mean, you were cheating on Oswald anyway, weren't you?
Huh? Cheating? What on earth are you talking about?
Oh, you don't need to play dumb about it anymore. Oswald already did his due diligence and he knows everything. That's why he's demanding what he is in the divorce settlement. He told me all that himself.
You guys just had to talk about me, didn't you?
Okay. I'll admit that I suggested to him that you might be cheating and that he should check into it.
What? Why? How?
You know, my work takes me to a lot of different places. I go to see different chapels around the area and I attend lots of events and client meetings. And I've seen you, Annie. I've seen you more than once in the company of a man who isn't my brother. I even texted you and asked you about it once. Remember?
That time, I told you he's a relative.
Yes, and you told me that you and her are close at age. But then I asked around and was told that you don't have any male relatives who are close to your age. In fact, all of the information I have says that all your relatives who are close to your age are female. All of them. Both on your mother's and your father's side. Which means that guy was your lover. Tell me I'm wrong.
So, because my cheating came out, I'm getting screwed in this divorce?
You weren't visiting your parents every week like you said you were, it seems. The thing about lies is that unless you're smart enough to keep telling them and covering them up indefinitely, sooner or later, you'll say or do the wrong thing and it'll all come out.
I can't believe this is happening.
And here's a not so fun fact about my brother. When he was in high school, he was really hurt, really badly by his girlfriend at the time when she cheated on him. I mean, he was crushed. So I seriously doubt he's going to let bygones be bygones and forgive you for this, Annie. He's a really sweet guy most of the time, but when he gets angry, it's not pretty. I suggest you prepare yourself.
Wait, please. Wait a minute, Dory. I admit it. I was cheating on Oswald. After we got married on paper, I suddenly became a housewife and I had too much time on my hands and extra money to spend because of Oswald. I wanted to get out of the house and enjoy myself.
And?
It was just fun and games. I felt nothing for that guy. Oswald is the one I love. Now I have no money and this divorce settlement is going to ruin me. What am I going to do?
Your current problems have nothing to do with me or my family. At the very least, you're just a person with a lousy personality and no sense of right and wrong. We're asking for this settlement because you deserve to suffer and because you need to be taught a lesson. So you need to pay it and feel that pain. You also need to properly reflect on your actions and sincerely regret them.
You can't mean that.
Furthermore, I will not be giving you any kind of break on the wedding cancellation fee. Pay it by the due date or face more legal action.
Wait, Dory, please. At least let me pay that in installments. At least. Please. Talk to the family for me, please. I'll change my ways, I swear. Please talk to them and get them to let me back into the family. I'll never cheat on Oswald again. I thought you were my sister, Dory. We're family. Don't leave me like this.
The two of them were divorced shortly after that, and of course, Annie is now deeply in debt due to the divorce settlement and the wedding cancellation fee. With that huge amount of debt and no help from her family, she's apparently working multiple jobs and somehow getting by on her own, although it can't be easy. It turned out to be a very steep price to pay for her just to cancel that one single wedding seat.